and then I'm starting the music. There we go. And then we start the review. Hello, this is thread review 179, and with me I have Adrift.
Hello.
Kelp.
Hey.
And Kiyo.
Hello.
And we'll just go right ahead, jump into looking at some screens from the current thread, and evaluate a bit. So to start us off, we have this edgy boys screen. It's I thought I'd just include it because it's more of like aesthetic deal than it's like an actual good home screen, right? But I thought it was like an interesting concept, or like an interesting aesthetic.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of CRTs and misaligned Japanese, I don't know, DVD covers, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. It reminds me of that Japanese brand, the Cavent, or whatever.
Yeah. Cavent, yeah.
Never heard of it.
I kind of like it actually, but my main gripe with it is that it's kind of hard to read.
Yep. But
Well, it's not hard to read if it's full screened. Then the CRTs, then the lines don't really make a difference. You just see every other pixel row.
yeah, I'm not sure how it shows up on the video actually. I think it might be really hard to make it out on video, but in full screen the lines get that
Anyway,
they
it's
aren't
a bit
very
too
Well-
minimalistic. It's too minimalistic for me. It just has temperature, clock, and a search bar. It looks like something put together in, 10 minutes?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this is why I just thought it's an interesting thing. It even if it's not necessarily a lot to talk about. And one of the things
What do you think?
Wait, what?
Adrift.
Hello. Hi.
What do you think
About this or overall?
about this?
Yeah, I think I agree with you. It's sort of unfinished, but I do think the aesthetic concept is interesting and could be fleshed out more.
Anyway, numerals?
What?
All right, we should define define our
Rating
1 to
system.
10s again,
Mhm.
just to be totally sure.
So, is 5 still like the average, or?
If we start at the top, 10, God screen, can't be beaten. Probably will never see a 10.
Yeah, 10s are subjective.
Yeah. A 9 is
An objective best, one
Yep.
that doesn't really have a flaw, even if it doesn't match your style.
Yep.
Yeah.
And 8 is well, the step down from as close to perfect.
Well, we should just define the extremes and
Yeah.
we'll do the rest.
Yeah.
5 is
Yeah,
totally
that sounds
average, and 0 being a lack of effort or pricing in
2
general.
clocks.
2
No.
clocks.
2 clocks is automatic 0.
Yeah.
We're probably never going to see a 0, but 1s are plentiful.
Yeah. And if it's stock, then it's just not worth
It isn't
giving
a
the rate.
rice, and it's not even in this PDF.
Yep. So
Anyway.
I'm going to give this a 7. Because it mostly fits my aesthetic. If it vibe.
I'm giving this one a 6.
Yeah, I agree with Callie.
See, I have a little secret. This is my home screen.
Nice.
Plot twist.
And it really took me 3 minutes to put together. And the only reason I've put this together is because that's me in the photo.
Yeah, that's what I thought actually. Or when not really that's what I thought, but when you say it, I remember the photo. I think you shared
Yeah.
it. Is it the one where you
In
have
the
blood all over?
what?
Whatever. I can see that. But why did you ruin your? Then I'll ask, why did you make the chin so
Why did I
so
make the
like
Um,
granulated?
granulated? No, it's just my shitty front camera.
Oh,
Just my shitty front camera and the expand filter in Snapseed.
all right. So
alright,
it's just one filter. Because if
Yeah.
I was going to do this effect manually, I'd probably stay away from doing it on the neck, because it's quite a
Yeah,
bit.
and the nose, I had to blur the holes because it looked too weird.
Yeah,
Anyway,
right. That's nice.
moving on.
Yep. So 27 is a webm. Let's see. Switch to the webm screen, and I'll keep it playing. And this is like a dead simple, pretty decent. Like it's not, I don't think it's a good rice, but it's a basis layer to work from. Kind of.
yeah, I certainly think that it's an interesting concept. My main problem with it is that it's just a Samsung phone, and they're not very customizable beyond the KLWP.
Yeah, but that
Right.
doesn't really matter.
What do you mean? You can still hide the navigation bar. The thing I like the most about this screen
Yeah.
is that I'm hearing myself back. Noise, is that on your
No,
end?
it's kelp.
Never mind. It looks really nice when it's static. The white screen and the black screen both work, but the animation is jarring. The phone text line snap,
Yeah.
the app names actually, fly in from the wrong side. It crosses over the line.
Yeah, and especially because the center line, it's not like the face isn't divided on the center line.
It's not
Well,
perfectly centered.
No.
It's not perfectly centered. It's more visible on the black screen than on the white screen because on the white screen you have the clock that's actually pushing the center a bit more to the right.
Yeah.
Oh
a
look,
thing worth.
that's a nice touch. Look, he put in the temperature in the chin.
Yep. And I
That's
think he
nice.
could do a lot more like that to like take it further.
Yeah, the font really fits, but he took a font and then made it italic within
Yep.
KLWP instead of choosing an italic version of this font, meaning the T in text is cropped out and the M in PM is also cropped.
Yep. Which an easy
Oh, yeah, I
workaround
see.
would be to add padding on the text, by the way. But
Okay, thanks for the tip. Yeah, he should definitely remove the navigation bar, have the app names move in from the other side, and perhaps not use fade in, fade out for the actual images.
yeah. So Adrift, do you have any thoughts?
No, not really. I mean, it's sort of a cute screen, and I think the text works overall. Apart from cut-offs. That's about it for me.
Yeah. So numerals, I'm giving this
I'd
one
give this one.
All right, Kiyo, you first.
Go ahead, go ahead.
All right, I'm giving this like I'm giving this a 4.
Below average.
This is kind of the problem with giving 5 average. But
yeah, because if you put in a 4, it's not really a 6 material.
Yeah, but it's not
perfectly
really average.
Yeah.
So I'm giving it a 4 with that explanation in mind.
Yeah, okay. I'm also giving it a 4 then.
I'll give
I'm going to give this one a 5 because honestly, through the time I spent looking at the home screen threads, I've seen a lot worse. And this, it's certainly not bad, but it's not good. my point is that it needs fleshing out, and A5 is just average.
Hmm.
It's interesting, but not interesting at the same time. I don't know how to
Yes,
explain it, but
But we don't really look at the overall image of the threads. You can have 1,000 garbage designs and one mediocre design. That doesn't mean the mediocre design is a 10. It means it's a 4. If you
well, we
catch my
have to
drift.
base our rates around something. So
Yeah, and
Well,
as we the way I think at least is that we base it on what's we should have like find an image of a 10 rice and like that's the 10 and an image for each kind of, or at least the extremes.
okay, we'll do that for the next thread, I
Hmm.
suppose.
Also, Adrift, could you move a bit closer to the mic?
Hello, does this sound better? Hi.
Yep.
Or should I turn it down? Okay, alright.
Nice. Also, I think kelp overshadowed your rate.
Oh, I
yeah,
said 5.
go
so-
ahead.
Yeah, okay, 5. Nice.
Okay.
Moving on to Zelda Man.
Zelda Man improved. I'm happy with the results.
I'm a bit sad that he
okay.
lost the yellow on the bands at the top or at the or the bars, the ribbon bars.
Yeah, the bar that divides the status bar and the app bar.
Yeah.
Used to be yellow, now it's white. But he did add some nice shadows, so the whole thing just feels a bit more nice. It feels nicer.
Yeah.
The thing I don't like is that he moved the app bar up above, so we have a bar of blue just beneath the. I suppose it's for the navigation bar or something, but
Yeah.
he didn't picture it. He changed the font, the clock font from that god awful, I don't know, splatter something, to this cutesy one. It still doesn't fit the actual image, but it's nicer, and it's the same height as the health bar and the, what do you call it? Indicators. I suppose.
Yeah. So I also agree with that. He shouldn't have lifted the app bar a bit.
Yeah.
I don't really get why he did it, except for that maybe it's the navigation bar. But he also got rid of the app shadows, or like the app duplication thing.
That's really nice.
That's-
I'm proud
yeah.
of him. It's almost like it's as if he watched the thread review.
Yeah, or at least as if he read his rates, which is a nice touch. He also changed the battery bar.
Did you just say she?
Yeah, whatever. They.
There are no females on the internet. Absolutely none.
Yeah, it changed the battery indicator to the Breath of the Wild endurance bar, which I suggested, and I think is a good change.
Congratulations, Nice. You really did it this time.
All right, Kelp, you had some strong thoughts about this in the pre-recording.
Yeah, I did. How come nobody has addressed wallpaper? Like, for me,
The subject
oh,
image.
well, anyways, with wallpapers, I generally tend to take something that is more or less neutral, or just pretty in general, because well, I don't know about you people, but I tend to spend a lot of time outside with my phone, so if somebody were to walk up to me and look at it, they wouldn't be creeped out by an image like that. But other than the wallpaper, I kind of like it. I'm gonna have to disagree with Kiyo about the font. I personally like the old font, but I'd also keep it like in the newer image, basically take the old font and change out the clock font with newer image. But on second thought, I don't really know how that fits.
You see, Kelp, when you start talking about what would people in the public think, you basically go each step closer to a stock rice because the stock rices are the ones that are going to appeal to the public. I had this is anecdotal evidence, so don't take it by heart. I've had coworkers having to use my phone, which is kind of a nightmare for them. They're puzzled. They don't even mind that I have anime on my used to have anime on my home screen or anything. The thing about Rising in general is is does it look good? Not will it freak some normie out. I
Yeah.
don't like the image. I'm not Zelda, but I
get
still
your
be a
point.
princess. It's really derogatory and degenerate. But I'm not here to judge.
Honestly,
Tastes aren't up to debate.
Yeah.
yeah, we could debate about this for a while. I've
If
actually
you
had a
really
couple
want
people.
to continue the debate, there's a nice a couple of dudes doing it in the W thread as well. You could jump on.
Yeah, I saw that. That guy has a nice point.
Yeah.
Also, Kelp, do you have push to talk?
Yes, I do.
I suggested he remove it.
Yeah,
but
don't-
now you
yeah,
get
don't use it.
feedback again. You didn't have feedback before. Because
I didn't have feedback before because I used the
headset, right?
the headphones.
Yeah.
But the headphones work completely at random, so I switched back.
Guys.
Okay,
Alright.
so you can just say over every time you finish your sentence over.
Over.
All right, nice.
So
I'm just going to say before we get to the rates, I really like the image. I find it really funny. Just like, I think it's a 10 out of 10 image. Onto the rates. Improved from last time. I'm giving this a 7.
Okay, I'm giving this one a 5. The reason is he did improve, but he also made some things worse.
Yeah, I can
like
see that.
The,
True.
I should
the
give
app-
it a 6
the app
instead.
bar. I don't know. Do what you will, but I'm giving it a 5. It doesn't really appeal to me at all.
I'm gonna give this one a 6. From an objective standpoint, it's a well executed rise. From an objective standpoint, but subjectively, I just don't like the image. You heard my points before.
Nice.
yeah, same. Except for it's a 5, because I don't like the image either.
Nice.
Also, I just wanted to point out that his body is overly long. Look at the torso.
Yeah, I mean, it's contorted.
It's
It's,
like-
not a very well made image.
It's like
but
it's like 3 head. It's like 3 heads.
also notice
Wait,
that it's
also
like
notice that it's like
Actually,
back is broken.
there's one thing I want to ask about. Just does the original image contain the Triforce in it, or is it made by the maker?
I don't
Is it
know.
like inserted in KLWP?
I think. Actually, I'm not sure. You can see beneath the Z in Zelda, there's like a clipping error or something. So I think it's like made in a. That's the image. But it might have like cutouts for each, because the text is totally doable in KLVP.
Nope,
Okay.
the Triforce is in the original image.
Alright, nice.
I found the image.
Oh, good find.
nice.
It's from Redbubble. Nice.
Nice. Alright,
Amazing.
moving on. We have Medusa Fag.
I'm just going to start this off because I really like his style. He's stayed consistent, and he actually listened to a lot of the advice he received over the course of multiple threads.
Yep.
He changed the font, he changed the outline. He really tries. And I really like the image. The Medusa image is so captivating, I could look at it all day.
Nice. I really should have added his previous rise, but it's like 4 threads back or whatever. So as you said, he's been posting for a long time, and he's been improving for a long time as well. One thing he doesn't seem to really get is like padding or spacing.
Oh yeah.
Which has been the topic of many a rate. The last threads, but and here's also like another thing with this for me especially is the whole I'm just putting an X to launch an app. It doesn't say anything about what the app is or what it does.
I've done that
just X.
a few times in the past. The thing is, it's hard to find, especially for this style, icon pack that actually fits.
Yeah, and
nothing really comes to mind when I think about it.
And I get why you do it, because it's really hard to find a solution to it, but it still just comes off as lazy to me. It's like, I'm just gonna do an X. I'm just gonna put a colored circle, and I really don't like that like mentality or what like. I just don't like
at
that
least
thing.
He put some thought into the X's. He did them all in KLWP. There are no spacing errors or padding errors or anything. It actually looks pretty nice even if you zoom in.
Yeah. Like he did it well, but I just really don't like the mechanic of it, to say.
I get it. Also, the font doesn't really fit.
Yeah.
The font and the X's don't fit because, and this was something that someone pointed out a few threads earlier, the Medusa image is round. It has round edges. The only sharp edges are the tails of the snakes. But in the font and in the X's, we have a lot of right angles and sharp corners. It doesn't really jive well. The only saving grace are actually the colors he used. He's spot on. The background color is not the same as the skin color. It's a wee bit darker, which makes it seem like the Medusa isn't transparent. I mean, if he used her skin color as the background color, the whole thing would just seem transparent, but he chose a nice shade of orange, I suppose. And that's what I really like. But the font and the sharp angles, especially considering the entire phone's frame, it's what S8, I think.
Yeah, or an S9.
Also has rounded edges. It doesn't work.
Yep.
And just because of that, I'll give it a 7.
7 from Kiyo. To add on that, I think the stroke around the letters should be thicker. Because when it's so thin, it's like barely noticeable. So I think it should be thicker, and I would move the clock like in the center of the empty space there, instead of having it touch the tentacles.
Yeah, he doesn't really get padding.
Yeah, which has been he's been told plenty of times.
Well,
I'm giving this a 6.5, or I'll give it a 7 because a 7. Kelp.
I'm giving this one an 8 because, well, of course you mentioned all of the points I wanted to mention. The colors are well matched. The spacing is a bit off. Like Noise said, he should move the clock up a bit and perhaps eliminate some of the space at the bottom. That's just a maybe. And of course, fixing the borders. The fonts are should be changed. Well, basically every point that Noise said. That's what could be improved in this, but looking at it from this point, it's still a rice that's worth 8 points in my opinion.
Cool. I'd probably give it a 7 as well. Oh, sorry. I'd probably give it a 7 as well. Yeah, the colors work really nice. Wait, hi Callie. Never mind. Yeah, I don't have much to say. This is...
An eloquent man, Adrift.
Shall we move on?
Yeah.
Let's move on. Here we have...
Did noise time out or something?
Whoops, I forgot that I muted my mic to eat chocolate. Alright,
Moving on.
19. Image 19.
Yeah, we have another improvement. We've covered this rice in the last thread review, and just for the record, I think we should spend less time on the same rices that have
Yep.
just improved. Talk only about the
Yeah.
changes, because it will take way too much time to analyze it all over again.
Yep.
True.
In this
agree.
rice, we move back to the point of optical centers and mathematical centers. The image is actually centered, but it doesn't appear centered. It doesn't work. We have the
Yeah.
status bar that is larger than the navigation bar, and most of the information is actually on the bottom of the screen, which leaves the top a bit empty.
Yeah.
He actually fixed the app shadows from that horrible white shadow to no shadow at all. We only have glyphs, and that's really nice. And in this screen cap, we have the glare from the actual phone, which is actually helpful. You can see, or at least pretend, what it looks like when it's actually in your hand, and it adds a nice touch.
I don't like it.
Well, that's what you're going to look at if you actually own the phone and
Yeah, I
the
know.
rights.
I know, but
The thing he hasn't changed are the outlines of the date and the primary apps. So not in the app drawer, but the apps on the actual home screen. That still doesn't work. It's still too thin, and the white doesn't work. And the "you will die but when" doesn't fill the void that exists on the top of the screen.
I think he could make it fill the void by just moving it. If he just pulled it further down and a bit further in, I think that would work quite well to balance out the top, even though it's empty.
The thing that will fulfill the void on the top is if he moved the image, the search icon, the icons themselves, so the entire center piece, if he just moved it, well, 40 pixels up.
Yeah. Overall, I would say it's a good improvement, and but there's still a way to go.
Yes, there is, and it's a 7 for me.
Kelp and Adrift, you have anything to
7
add?
for me as well. Yeah, 7 for me.
Yeah, I agree with your points. That there is quite a bit of a lack of space at the top.
Yeah, nice. You have a rating? Alright, I think.
Alright, I'm gonna give this a 5.
Alright, a 5?
Yes.
I'm giving it a 7 as well, I'd say. I would probably use this if I fix the issues I have with it, but I'd probably use it.
Adrift, what did you give it?
I give it a 7.
No, 7. Nice. Hey, Noise, what do you feel about Swedes?
Swedes? Well, they're all right.
Yeah.
Well, it all depends, you know.
They're kicking our ass in handball as we speak.
Nice. Well,
What's handball?
they're still Scandinavian, so I probably like them more than the rest, to put it that way. All right, moving on. By the way, guys, do you like the font I picked? for the
Yeah,
Is it your
it
terminal?
looked a bit weird at
Yeah.
first, but it kind of grew on me.
you want to
Like
know what
in the
font
short
it is.
amount of time that we spent looking at it, it sort of stuck. I like it.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Mono, the cutest
Looks
font out
industrial.
there. The W's are super nice. If you scroll back to the first screen, you can see them. But anyways, image 97.
Let me just scroll.
This is a flower boy. He posted let's see, a webm, and he posted it one earlier, but it's so ugly. I don't even want to show it. So this is a huge improvement. Just to say, I won't bother finding it, but this is
Don't bother finding it. This is a basic bitch rice.
yeah.
The font is too cutesy to be useful. The boxed layout is something you do on your first fucking rice. Oh look, I'll make a box for the apps, the app player, and the stuff I use the most, and that's it. The first screen doesn't really have anything going for it. It's just the meme blur box with counters and that god awful battery indicator. Look how close it is to the edge.
Yeah.
Look how close it is.
That's too close for comfort, man.
The navigation bar is white, but the status bar icons are black, or actually dark gray. The default dark gray, which he doesn't use anywhere else on the Rise, and he should just remove the status bar because, look and behold, he has 2 clocks.
Alright, 0.
There's way too much padding on the app drawer.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
We're waiting.
2 clocks? Doesn't that make this an instant 0?
Yeah, that's what adrift said.
Well,
Should
that's a joke.
we just brand it and just stop talking about it?
That would be beautiful.
Wait. What was that rice we were talking about? Oh yeah, the next one. Image 29. Let's go.
No. We'll
never
review
mind.
this one, but it's a 0 out of 10.
Yeah, but like overall, it's still like
It's a 0.
But this is the state of the threads, right? When this is above thread average.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah, it's quite sad.
There's literally no thought put into anything. I mean, padding wise.
Yeah.
The track title, the artist name, the progress bar, the counters, nothing is consistent about this Rise except the meme blur.
Yeah, I guess you could like kind of say the color scheme is consistent because there's only 3 colors.
Just pink. Yeah.
3 colors and album art, which adds a whole other
Yeah,
million.
nice. Yeah, I thought we should talk about that sometime. Album art, gay or nay or gay or okay. I mean,
Gay or nay? Both. Both.
Gay or just okay is the title for that video, I guess.
Is gay okay?
But yeah, overall, it's pretty sad, but it's a huge improvement over the previous one he made. That's for sure.
I just start over if I were him.
Yep.
Me too.
You know what this reminds me of? It's like on iPhones when you swipe up,
Yeah.
you see like the control, yeah, like the
control
blur and
center?
stuff. Yeah. Like the blur.
I mean-
the blur and the album art.
Blur
the
can
album
be
art.
executed well in some cases. I think
Yeah, I'm not
the
saying it's good or bad. Just reminds me of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's a 0, automatic 0.
It's a
so
0, so let's
Yeah,
move on.
yeah, 0. Okay.
then we have 29. Let's take the backseat on this one, Kiyo, and let Kelp and Adrift take it away.
Yeah.
All
I
right,
agree.
so
Yeah, I agree.
first complaint I'd have is the font.
Yeah,
I do not know much about fonts, so I cannot comment on the font itself, but it's just the one thing that pisses me off the most is readability. The fonts are too small, on the leftmost image, and come on, it's a white font against a white background. It's
Yeah.
basically unreadable. But
is this the
what I
default font in
do-
KLWP?
Yeah, it is a I
It's a
think
railway.
it's railway. Yeah,
Yeah. I don't like railway that much. Yeah.
neither do I.
My default font in KLWP is Rogayo.
Wait, what is it?
The standard Android font.
It's
Standard Android.
what adrift meant is that it's in the default fonts. There's a bunch of them.
Oh, okay.
But commenting on the layout, it's interesting. I mean,
It's the sidebar
Loud-
stuff, which was big. Like 2 years ago or so.
Yeah, there was a dude that made a really nice one with these like 10 threads ago or something.
With
Which-
birds, right?
Hmm.
The guy had birds on it.
I think it was like an ocean
Yeah.
actually, or a city. Street photography style or something. And it's actually not railway, but it's one of the fonts that you don't have to download to use in KLWP, I'm pretty sure.
I personally like sidebars. It's a nice touch. It's a decent functionality wise, and you can still display your image in full
Right.
and retain the functionality. Yeah, the font pisses me off as well. It's just not really the color, because the color on the main screen actually works. Reminds me of old PS2 titles. But again, padding. Jesus Christ, padding. Look at the left sidebar and the bottom of it. It's just so empty. We have the
Yeah.
album art, which I'm not going to comment on because it's been way and overdone. The font doesn't work. It's unreadable in the left sidebar. The bottom is too empty. And we have the same problem on the right. We have 1, 2, 3, 6 apps. 6 apps for the entire sidebar. Does he really use only 6 apps? You can fill it with 20 apps and it still wouldn't look cluttered. It's a 6.
Let's just if you just wait a second, I'll give you the GIF for the so the main image is a GIF. I'm posting it now, and so it's actually playing. You can see on the app screen, you can see it has a aberration in the eye from it playing. So I'm really not sure I would be able to live with the GIF playing.
Yeah.
But
Hurt my eyes.
yeah, especially when it's full screen. I think it's a nice GIF, but like not playing all the time and not playing in this format.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah, I'll probably give this. Oh, never mind.
I just wanted to say it detracts from the overall aesthetic, or like
Right.
makes it even more jarring.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. The main image and the background image used for the sidebars don't match. So this is the example where blur could be used really well. He could use the original image and blur it and make it the background for the sidebars.
Yeah. All right, I'm giving this a
Actually, I might recreate this. I kind of like the concept.
yeah. Just make it better. Yeah, I'm giving this like it's so hard when you to like disregard the state of the threads, but I'm giving this like I think this is like a 4. I'm so inconsistent with my numbers, man. I'm giving this a
No,
4.
I give this a 4 as well.
I'm also giving this. Am I cutting in here?
No. Perfect.
No.
Okay, I'm giving this a 4. Like noise.
All right, and
Cool.
Kiyo, you gave it a 7, was it? Or did I?
give it a 6.
6. Right, nice.
Well, ready to move on. Ready to move on.
Yes.
Yeah.
36. So this is
It's
an especially like astounding rise. This is what I would consider a fairly alright stock setup.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It's really clean. The weather widget doesn't really cut into anything. It actually matches the font used in the status bar. The dock has a bunch of apps in it. It's a really nice stock setup.
Yeah.
Not really
Yeah.
much to say.
I wish you could change the app drawer thing from the
Yeah.
folder to something else.
Yep.
And
Well,
he
I
could
have to
use
agree with you all here. The only problem with it is that it's stock, but that's about it. The icons are nice, it's clean, the wallpaper is picked well.
So
Yeah.
the main issue with stock setups is not that it doesn't look good. Most of the time it looks just okay. The issue is it lacks personality. It lacks anything. We all agree Mona Lisa looks great, sure. But 3,000 prints of Mona Lisa don't make Mona Lisa look bad. It just makes it look average, generic,
Yeah.
and everyone has it, and you cannot tell what the author meant.
Yeah.
So that is my
Yeah,
main
waters
gripe
things
with.
down.
Yeah, it waters things down. The only complaint I have about this rice is the app icon, the icon pack used. It's Delta. Delta is way overused. Something like drops or locks from the same guy could
Yeah, I
actually fit
agree.
in better.
Yeah, it would also fit the flower better. Pape.
Yes.
But this
So-
is what, yeah, I as I said, I included it to be a good example for what a nice
Good
looking
stock
stock setup
rice, yeah.
is. Since Star doesn't post anymore, this is what we have to settle with.
Yeah.
Star with his 600 DPI.
What? I didn't catch that.
He sets his DPI at like 12 million or something.
Oh, what?
Yeah. Like his phone's not that big, but like he just makes the text super small.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah, because everything's tiny, but it's cute and it's nice.
Yeah. Guys, what's your DPI?
I think it's like, I actually don't know.
Yeah, whatever the default on Samsung is, I haven't changed it.
Really? I found
Yeah.
the default's way too big. Usually I push it one step down, but lately I've been doing 540.
540. I have it like the WQHD plus setting in Samsung, which is a 2960 by 1440. But I don't know the DPI on that.
Yeah.
But I have maxed.
Yeah. So, numerals on this stock rice. I mean, it's stock
Oh.
rice.
Get a 5 to a 6.
Same.
I'm giving it a 5.5. Like it's like the average, what the
It's
average should
but
be,
it's
plus a bit more.
yes.
Right.
So 5.5.
Like it's not novel. But
I'm giving it a 5 because it's stock. All
Yeah.
stock rices are average rices.
Yep, that's fair.
That's fair. Let's move on. Image 42. We have.
Yep. So this guy also posted, like, I think in the first thread review I did 4 threads ago, I talked about this screen alone. And so here you can see what he did to it, and I don't think he did anything to it at all.
Changed the background,
Just the
and the new
weather.
background is better than the last one. I really dig the classical setup and the Jesus and Mary. This is Mary, right?
Yeah,
God.
I don't know.
Is
It looks like a guy. It's
It's Jesus,
an alternative Pieta, I suppose.
Maybe.
The thing I don't like is the
If
font
there's-
used for the clock. It's just blackboard something, really cheesy.
Yep.
There's another thing I'd like to nitpick on. It's the fact that the weather font is different from everything else.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Why would you use three different fonts? It's just a bit of inconsistency I dislike.
Yep. So I'm going to just like rehash what I said last time because he didn't do. He's done literally nothing to it except change the date for weather and change the background. And the background, like, I don't think that's really constitutes like a huge change in such a setup because the paper is like quite distant or like unrelated to the actual boxes. But I think the clock font and the separators are nice. I don't have a issue with it. The text underneath, as you guys said, I think should be changed, and he should get some. He should make it consistent. The separator lines consistently sized.
Yeah,
'Cause
the
none of
separator
them-
line between the clock and the weather and the battery is thicker than the progress bar and is thicker than the separators between the apps. I
Yeah.
like the way he separated the apps, but I don't like that it's another basic bitch box setup.
Yeah.
He-
Also, the
he
shadows
could-
look really nice on the new background.
Yes, they do. He could actually do away with pushing all of the info down below or up above or anywhere, so he can actually display the image in the center, like I don't know.
Yeah. I would probably do it like let's see if I can draw on the. I would probably do it like, and I have to change the color. Well, let's see. I would move it up to the top, the clock thing up to the top, and then move the app bar and the music player to the bottom. That way you have quite a big square in the middle to still display your fancy and nice paper. But you still retain decent padding and usability.
Yeah.
So overall, I'm giving this a 5. Average.
I'm giving this a 4. The difference in the font is just too jarring.
I
Yeah,
give it a
well,
4
that's
as well.
true. I didn't even think about
Oh,
what
yeah.
I said when I gave it a rate. God damn it.
I'm giving this a 4 too.
Cool. Alright. Next one.
Yep. Oh shit. I forgot to change the. Alright, now we're on the next one. 49.
49. It's fucking nothing. It's really nothing. It's 9 apps and a black background.
Yes.
I
But
could
it's also
nitpick.
pretty nice to look at.
It is pretty nice to look at. But he should change. So every single app name is 4 letters long except net. For a minimalistic write such as this, he should do a monospaced font. Thank God we live in 2019 and there are monospaced font that look like a normal sans font. And he should actually change the padding. The distance between columns, between each column, and the edge of the screen is not the same. And considering he has so little going for his home screen, he should actually pay more attention to stuff like that.
Yep.
This is 30 seconds of rising put into it. And that's being generous. And that's it's
Minimalism,
nice
man.
to look at. It's nice to look at, but I'm pretty disappointed.
Yeah, it's simple to look at, but yeah, it's not too much to look at the same time. So.
not much to comment on either.
No.
What I do dislike is there's basically no indication of anything. Like, what is this phone status? What is it doing? How is it keeping up?
Well, that's for him to know and you to find out.
Yeah. Usually that's a quick drag down from the top to reveal the status bar. But man,
It's a pain, in my opinion.
yeah, probably. But the thing here is as the number 36 is that it's a this is what a first timer would put together
Yeah.
and still not be like bottom tier.
It's solid, but it's nothing special. It's should be literally a 5, but since it's not stock, I'd give it a 6.
Yeah. I give it a 5 exactly.
Yeah, I'm also. It's like a 5 to 6. But the thing with the net, like being only 3, I commented on it in the thread, and since it's not a monospaced font, I think it kind of works. Doesn't really bother me too much because it kind of makes like a crown or whatever, if you think about it like that.
I think you're reading too much into it.
Yeah, like totally. The guy didn't think about it, but when analyzing it, this is what this is what I'd think like. But yeah, it's a 5 for me.
I'm going to give this one a 4.5 because of a lack of even basic functionality. There's not even a clock in it.
Yep. Nice.
Yeah.
Swift one.
Let's move on.
All right, so this is our new homeboy, Saber,
Oh, nice.
and yeah, take it away, guys.
I like the card. You go first. Alec.
What I do like is the background. He used a radial gradient for this, and for one, these are quite rare to see. And second, the colors match with the image and are overall a decently good combination. So that's that. And another thing I like is the icons or the bars on the second image. I don't know about you guys, but both opinions are seem nice to me. If there's one thing I'd like to nitpick is the text in the middle. I think it should be a bit more spread out, perhaps put in the top or the bottom, or basically
Not
it shouldn't all
necessarily
become
put in the
clumped
top
up
or the
inside the
bottom.
image.
But instead, he should simplify the text. He has commas and the clock and the temperature and the forecast all just thrown together. The track title actually doesn't fit it. It just looks haphazard. I like the colors. The colors are nice. But he could do with the border around the rectangle in the middle. Also, I think he used bars for the second one because the icons don't have the same weight as the font.
So a quick clarification: the right screen is the old, and the left is the new.
Oh, okay.
And I'm the one that suggested he use icons instead of bars because of what I'm told.
Yeah.
It makes it more readable, but he should up the weight of the icons or thin out the font.
Yeah. And also, I think he could do something with the train, since
what?
that's like the image. I think he could do something with it, make it cooler. But it's a simple screen. There's some thought put into it, I agree with the border, or at least a drop shadow, probably. Some indication that it's not just like
or a border.
yeah, some indication that it's not just there, kind of.
Or he could actually reverse the radial gradient and make the blue, oh, look at that. The blue, actually it's not blue, it's teal.
Yep.
But the sky in the image is blue.
Yeah. So
Probably change that.
the overall
The reason
harmony.
it works is because the actual background of the screener is teal.
Yeah. I hate screeners so much, guys.
But if you block that out, the teal doesn't work at all.
Yeah. You should all stop using screener.
How come?
Just-
What do you hate?
Just use GIMP or any other image editing software and get a proper mockup. Or just post your screen.
Yeah. Screener just compresses the fucking thing so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. Have you guys tried the 3D screener where like the phone is standing up by the
No.
side?
I-
That compresses.
that
it.
compresses
Oh shit. I've never even thought about like using something else than just taking a screenshot and then editing it afterwards instead of using an app to take the screenshot, but it's so irritating. I really dislike it. At least it doesn't have the glare on the screen like some do.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm going to give this one a 7. It looks nice, but there's so much he could do with it, and he just
Yeah.
hasn't.
Yep.
I'm also
Give it like
giving this
6.5.
one
Give
a
it like
7.
6.5.
Well, it's good, but it's not perfect. Nowhere close. So a 7 it is.
Yeah. Adrift, care to say that again?
I'll give it a 6.5 for about the same reason.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing I like the sender thing, but I really don't like the bars or the icons, to be quite honest. But I don't know what you should do with it, because it's just like too simple. Also, the background isn't the same between the two images, which is a bit irritating. But or like the screener background color, and I don't think any of them fit the actual radiant color. But that's anything else. I'm giving this a 6. All right. Moving on. 79 and number 3. This is mine, so I'll let you guys take it.
I like the font.
Well-
Yeah.
Yeah, you picked the font well on this one. I don't know, but I had this weird issue where it was hard to find out which text was which, but that's probably me just really trying hurrying along it, not paying it enough attention. Actually, I prefer the newer version where the clock is horizontal because I just personally don't like reading the text from side to side. Like
Kiyo, is that you?
Kiyo, is that you? Is just a no for me.
No.
Oh, yeah. All right. Kelp, yeah, I had a loud beeping noise. Please say that again.
I prefer the older version, or the slightly beige one.
That's the
purely
that's
on
the new
account
one.
that-
the new one.
Yeah.
God damn it, it's
purely
back.
on the-
it's back.
Can you turn down
Really,
Can you
Um,
turn down the
fucking sensitivity or turn down the output of your speakers? Either or works.
So yeah, let's try this again. Third time's the charm. I prefer the older one because the clocks are horizontal. Again.
Get out the bump, get out
I prefer the last one because the clocks are horizontal and the vertical text is just I generally dislike it. purely on account of it being harder to read.
Nice. Adrift?
Yeah, I think. I don't know, the layout just works so well, I think. Like, there's a balance to it, I think. What else? Yeah, not much to add. It just, yeah.
So
it's
I like
very
the
nice
new
looking.
one better than the old one, just because the background isn't white anymore, it's beige. The image is nicer. I like classical vibes, and this actually puts a modern spin on a classical vibe. And because most of the time classical pieces didn't have text on it, and if it did, I I assume they probably did something like you did right now. But the text rotation and the effect used for the current track time and the total track time, it actually works really well, even though there's not much functionality to speak of. I don't know what I rated your rice last time, I think it was a 7. Anyway, I'd like to give a 0.5 to whatever I rated it the last time, so 7.5.
Nice.
I'm going to give this one a 9 because, well, I don't personally like Noise's style, but it's just so well executed, and the more I look at it, the more I notice the details, the placement, the positioning. It's just everything's really well placed. And so that I think that this rice really does deserve a 9.
Yeah, same score and same reasoning as Calix.
All right. Thanks, guys. I'll just say that since this is like whenever you make a simple rice, right? I've been telling this. I've been telling others and rating others with minimal rices that when they make something simple, they have to think it through a lot more thoroughly than when you make something complicated. So I try to like put that what I preach and like actually do it myself.
Oh, so you're a priest.
Yeah, I probably am. No, but what's the word? Or like expression?
Priest.
Isn't it like practice what you
Bishop?
preach?
Pope?
Do as you say.
Yeah, do as you
Are
say.
you a
Practice
pope?
what you preach.
Yeah, you're both right.
Yeah. So
You
that's what I tried to
practice
do,
what you
and I really
preach,
wanted
and turn the other cheek.
a nice image. What are you saying, Kiyo?
I'm singing.
All right, nice. And
So, shall we move on?
yeah,
I'm
nice.
sorry if I cut you off.
Yeah, I'm just going to say I really like having images wrongly rotated for some reason. I don't know. It's just really
This rice is
mood.
so good, it makes me want to use serifed fonts in my rices.
Nice. All right, moving on. Quick dab, boys. Dab is
Dab.
back again. As the same, right is old, left is new.
Mhm.
And I can start this off since I sat through last one, and I quite like this, and I quite like the changes he made, and there's not really much to say. It's a Penguin Classics book, and he did quite a good job of it, I would say. The only thing that really bothers me is that the penguin is touching the edges on the left one, on the new one. The penguin is touching the edges of the white bar, and the text, the orange text is too small, I think, or hard to read when it gets that small because of the serif style. And the same with
Yeah.
the white text.
I agree with you. The thing I like the most about this rice is the use of the images. Both of the images, you can actually see the canvas past the actual paint. And I like that effect. It really adds something real to it instead of being just flat and material and something, and he balances it out with the use of the screen space on the bottom. This is one of the rare examples where I like empty space. I mean, you look at the bottom. There's nothing much to see there. It's just a ways to go before you actually hit the first line of text, and the colors are actually nice. I'm not sure I'd enlarge the orange text, maybe just a bit, but yeah, the thing that bugs me the most, and it's the same thing that bugs you the most, is the penguin touching the edges. The penguin could be just enlarged past the borders and used as a badge. But if he did that, I suppose it would make it too belt buckle like. I don't know.
Yeah.
He could find a version of the penguin without the orange background.
That could also be.
Well, I think that the main reason of this Rise's success is the fact that it copies a book cover that has probably had a lot of time put into it. I'm not sure exactly how this Penguin Classics, they're probably a pretty experienced company, at least in graphical design for book covers.
Yeah, they are.
It's kind of a curiosity how well this translated, like from a book cover into a Rise for phones. But, well, I like it for the same reason I like those book covers. They're nice.
So it's not bad to use
Yeah, you
book
could
covers
go.
and posters for inspiration. They're made by much more experienced people. I mean, none of us have a degree in graphical design. We're just saying what we like and what we don't like. So you cannot go wrong with copying a poster or a book
Yep.
cover.
So I just pulled out a book from my collection, Penguin Classic from my collection to compare it against, and two major things, or like there's three things here. First, they use, at least the one I have. I don't know in general, but they're using Futura for both the white ribbon text and the pink one, which is a grotesque or a sans serif, and the penguin is significantly smaller than the white ribbon, and the text on the white ribbon is spaced out quite a bit, so the kerning is they are opened up to be wider. So if he wanted to copy it, I think that would be a nice touch, but on its own, I think it still works.
As for numerals, I'm inclined to give this one a 7. He could do a bit more. I like the images, I like the use of empty space, but it's not 8 or 9 or 10 material for me.
I agree with you. I'm giving this
Yeah.
a 7.
Yeah, 7 as well. Like, the idea is pretty nice, but it's not super refined. And I think the album art works here as a book cover.
So it's a 7 across the board.
You can actually put album art. That's actually a pretty nice idea.
Yeah.
Sorry for cutting you off, Kelp.
I just wanted to say that I also give it a 7, so it's a universal 7 from all of us.
Nice. Right, and then we have 91.
And the last one.
Why is this one here?
Yeah,
Ending off on a
exactly.
bang.
What the fuck is this? Ending off on a
Is
on
this
my wrist.
one of Kiyo's troll rises?
Not mine. I don't use MIUI trash.
So this is a great example of a stock rice
How the
gone
fuck
wrong.
Thing. I'm not going to even comment on this. It's a 0 from me. Fuck
All
yeah.
right.
It's a 0.
It reminds me of
It's
my
a 2 clock.
first rice. Jesus.
I'm
Nice.
not
It's
even
2
gonna
clocks,
spend
so
time on
it's...
this.
All right.
Wait,
If-
am I
if-
seeing
if-
3
if-
clocks
if-
here? I mean, there's one at the top,
Oh yeah,
there's
this
one
one.
at...
Oh yeah, this one. The what?
Yeah.
3
So
clocks.
I don't know. What do we do for more than 2 clocks?
It's
0, 0. No, no.
Negative.
Actually, it's a -1, and you turn around and reach 64,365.
Oh, nice. Nice
Under
integer
full.
overflow.
all right. Nice. All right. So moving on.
So bad it broke the rating system.
Oh,
On the first time. Moving on, we
how
have
to sanitize your
Ech's rice.
Moving on, that's the last image in my PDF.
Yeah, it is because I forgot to add these these ones in. But we have to add them. We have to talk about our boy
Tell me the image number.
I don't know the image. It's the.
Let me try to find it. Hold on.
I linked it in the.
It's in it's in the IRC chat.
I'll bring it up.
Oh,
Got it.
All right, I'm too slow.
Oh, the imitation.
Yeah, and it's and we have to comment on it.
Okay.
We've been
And
talking
it's
about it all the last
rice is
3.
Ech.
Yeah,
should we give background info on X new development?
yeah.
First
So
of all, congratulations, Ech, on getting a modern phone.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
hella cracked though. Have you seen?
it's so bad. It's such. It's so
I mean,
funny.
he's dedicated for buying.
Yeah, he is. Let me see if I can find the image, and I'll.
Oh, cool. I found it. Hold on.
I'm so slow at scrolling through. I have it. Nice. Yeah, so this is his new phone. It's super nice.
Super broken.
Yeah. Like insanely broken. But he got this. Oh shit. He got this phone to use KLWP. Alright? This is serious business, guys.
This is dedication.
Damn, that's quite a level of determination.
You should also spend some time on a book about graphical design because this looks appalling.
Yeah. Well
Graphic design is his passion. Don't make fun of it.
That's a nice Tumblr meme you got there.
I posted this. His newest version has a car on it as well, so you can check that out.
Oh.
I also
Car
noticed
one
that it
was
has
better than
a Minecraft icon on it.
Yep.
What? Oh shit! Look at that.
Based Minecraft.
So I'm going to start this off. There. The rice itself isn't that nice. It really isn't that nice. The car version is better than the Zelda version. The colors work. I actually like the colors. But he hasn't hidden his status bar in the newest version, so you get empty space with white status bar icons, and we cannot see them just because they're white. The battery indicator just takes up so much room in the top bar, and the clock and the date and the track title are just randomly sized boxes beneath the top bar where they actually should be, in the top bar.
Yeah.
The app bar on the bottom has a weird blur effect applied to it, which appears only in the app bar, nowhere else. Navigation bar doesn't work in this rice, neither does the status bar. If he fixed those two things and changed the font to be a single font and something a bit nicer than Rubato or what is this, Caviar or something, this rice could actually be pretty nice.
Look at the clock. It says 12 a.m. and 32:06. Like, how are you supposed to read this?
I
To
think
read it
it's
in the like counterclockwise.
12 a.m. and then 32 minutes 06 seconds.
Right.
Oh.
But it's
Oh,
Perfectly readable.
No, I get it. He just scrolled through KLWP's presets, and the first preset for the clock is the one that has AM PM indicator on it.
oh
Oh man. Oh
Yeah.
man.
yeah. I'm not going to comment on this. I'm just going to say let's see where he goes from this.
Yeah.
I'm
has no
interested.
full support.
Looks like something straight out of 2012 for me.
Well, he's been
Yeah.
living with a phone from 2012 for the last 8 years or something. I don't know. So I think that's a fair assessment.
Yeah.
All right.
It's this one's a 3 from me.
Yeah, I it's so funny. I genuinely like him. I hope he actually manages to make something good.
I'm gonna believe in him. In fact, I'm gonna give him a 5 as something to well, make him wanna do more of this.
Hey,
Yeah.
also, I want to turn your attention to image number 28.
28. Alright, I'll find it real quick. It's
Can you post it in the channel?
oh yeah, it's the Note Galaxy Note guy.
I thought it looked like an Xperia from the. Anyway,
Is this right?
it's the one with the cloud background.
Oh. Can you
I'll
post it?
This one.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, not gonna lie, this was the thread was not being bumped, so I went onto Reddit r/Android themes and
Yeah.
took a decent one and I posted it here.
Nice.
That's me,
Yeah,
but
that's
it's
what
not
I
my
thought.
screen.
That's what I thought. Look at the look at the file name.
I didn't even look. I just
Oh,
commented.
oh, you know how my file naming works?
I think you mentioned it.
Yeah, because I always
Normally,
randomize it.
If it, I mean, it's the only one that doesn't. That has the Unix timestamp on it.
Ah, nice.
So
Anyway.
this is that's quite funny.
I thought it looked really nice and calming, even though the weight that the line weight around the date and there is one event today doesn't match the weight of the icons, but it looked like another decent stock rice.
Yeah.
That's
If
about
there's
it.
one thing I'd change on this is that I'd make the borders of the elements at the top a bit thicker to match the icons and the nav bar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that's what I said as well. Never mind then.
it's quite
It's time.
a Reddit screen,
Yeah.
Mhm.
especially how they. I said this. I rated this as well. Especially how the two. What's the boxes padding is inconsistent internally. There's just a huge gap there, for some reason.
Okay, never mind then. Should we actually pick the next OP?
Yep. So you go ahead.
Who, me?
I'm willing to make it noises, Rice, as long as it wasn't the OP in the last couple of threads.
Yes, it was. I think it was.
It was Debs.
Oh, Dabs and one before. Oh, right, it wasn't.
I think I would, from the ones I've picked
So-
at least, I'd put mine or probably Dabs. I think again.
Yeah.
So
That's
I
for
wouldn't
yours.
put Dabs again because he had a book cover in front of him and he still didn't do what he could have done. He actually had the whole setup in front of him to look at and to. I mean, come on. Come on. No, I won't pick Dabs in a lifetime. Not this rice, at least. I'd pick either Noises Rice because I like the classical vibe and the functional non-functionality it provides, or the good stock screen. I know it's kind of tongue-in-cheek, but I'd actually pick the good stock screen just to have something just to give something to the trolls that. How do I put this?
Yeah, who
but
like
just to,
think that is.
to be a nice big fat bait.
All right. Should we vote on it? I
Okay.
guess you three vote since mine is in the running.
Yeah, I'm going
Well,
to go with noises.
I'm okay with it going either way.
Don't be a
I
fence
I'd
sitter.
like, I like both opinions, the troll opinion and the noise post. So
Okay, so Kelp, you're the same as me.
Don't
Adrift, you
don't
pick.
sit on the fence. Adrift voted me. Kiyo, you voted stock. It's all up to you, Kelp.
Alright.
So I can be on the fence.
I'm
Well,
just gonna pick no.
you can be on the fence. I don't. Well, just pick one. All right, just pick one. God damn it.
I vote stock.
I'm gonna vote noise because we gotta keep up a standard, man. These are hard times.
Nice.
Okay,
All right.
Noise it is. I'm going to get ready for the backlash and enjoy the next thread.
Yep. So
See you next time.
should I make the next thread in and just put my screen? That would be.
That would be nice. Or just take the trip off.
I did. That's pretty gay, man. Taking off the trip.
Okay, should I make the next?
Yeah, sure. You can
Okay.
go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, dude, I mined a trip for you. It's Kiyo self.
Holy shit.
If you want it.
Nice.
Yeah, sure. I'd love it.
I'll send it to you right now, and you can make the thread. I'll stop the
Yeah,
recording
but-
there. Ba-da-ba.